Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you a classic AR glass cannon build. This build is really powerful for any forms of heroic content. There is one downside to the build, is that you'll be very squishy, so it does take a little bit of skill to use. As for legendary, it is possible to use it, but I wouldn't advise you to use it because you will get dropped quite often, unless you have a really good healer or you have someone that's really good at crowd control. Okay, so let me take you through the build. So we're going to be running 3 pieces of Providence Defense. One piece gives you 15% headshot damage, the second piece gives you 15% crit chance, and the third piece gives you 15% crit damage. So for my attributes, I'm going to be running crit damage, crit chance with a crit damage gear mod. On this build, we're going to be having 2 crit damage gear mods and 1 crit chance gear mod. For my chest piece, I'm running the named Sacrifice chest piece. This has perfect glass cannon. So all damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take is amplified by 60%. So this is why I said it takes a little bit of skill in order to survive using this build, because the enemies do 60% more damage towards you and they already do enough damage as it is. So you have to play quite smart. But the good thing about it is that you get 30% amplified damage. There's no stacking involved. You get that instant damage buff. If you don't have perfect glass cannon, you can run the normal glass cannon. The difference between them is that it's 25% amplified damage, and I don't know the percentage of damage you take, it's lower than 60%. For my backpack, I'm running the named Gift backpack. Okay, so this is where my 6% crit chance gear mod is going to. My crit damage gear mods are on my mask and on my chest piece. So this has perfect vigilance, increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 3 seconds. So the difference between the normal version and the perfect version is this is 3 seconds, the normal version is 4 seconds. Alright, and I have the same attributes on here. For my glove, I'm running the Grupo Sombra, so it gives me 15% crit damage. I've got crit damage and crit chance on here. For my knee pads, I'm running the Fox's Prayers knee pads. What's so special about this is that you get a multiplicative, which is damage to target of cover, and on here I have crit damage. For my last piece, I'm running the exotic holster called Dodge City Gunslinger holster. So this has a talent called Quick Draw. While your pistol is holstered, gain a stacking buff every 0.3 seconds, up to 100. When you swap to it, your first shot consumes the buff and deals 10% damage per stack. This deals headshot damage to anywhere you hit. So that's basically 100% weapon damage on the pistol. But you have to have your pistol holstered, and when you take that first shot, it is insane amount of DPS from the pistol. It's really good for enemies that push you, or one-shotting enemies. You can one-shot a named enemy. Obviously, you have to take a bit of health away from him. You can you can break the armor of a robotic. It's not really armor. Robotics have health damage, but you know, when you can see the armor break in front of you, you can break it, or you can take their whole health away. It's honestly really good. I'd recommend you try it out yourself. Okay, so for the rest of the build, I'm going for my weapons. I have the shield splinter as my main weapon. I have damage to target of cover on here. This has perfect optimus. So weapon damage is increased by 4% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. So you can only get this from doing all the hunters, and I think you have to do all the hunters in Washington, and it comes out of this weapon cache here. You need to collect, I think, 6 to 8 keys, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I did this a long time ago, and you will get this special weapon. I'd recommend checking on YouTube. I think Nothing But Skills has a guide video for doing the hunters, so you can just follow that. For my second weapon, I'm running the classic M1A with damage to target out of cover, and on here I have Boomerang. So critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If a bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has 40% increased damage. Okay. Lastly, for my pistol, I'm running the Regulus. Alright, so this has a really powerful talent called Regicide. Headshot kills create a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage, and applying bleed to all enemies. So you don't need to have the Regulus if you're using Gunslinger, because I know a lot of people don't run the Regulus as well if they don't have it. You can run the Orbit. Okay, so this has perfect finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% crit chance and 40% crit damage. Or you can run the new named pistol called the Prophet. So after killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed critical headshot. Okay, so you can either run that or whatever other pistol you recommend. I'd recommend a pistol that does really high damage. Okay, so I wouldn't run the TDI card custom because look at the damage difference between those and the Orbit as well. I'd recommend either the Orbit, the Prophet, or any other pistol, maybe the D50 pistol. That's also really powerful. Okay, for my stats on the build, I'm on my AR. I have 60 crit chance, 159 crit damage. On my M1A, I have 60 crit chance, 176 crit damage. And on my Regulus, I have 50 crit chance and 159 crit damage. For my skills, I'm running the Crusader Ballistic Shield and a Reviver Hive. And my specialization is the Gunner specialization, because this is where we get some survivability. We get killing enemies grants 10% armor. Every third reload speed is 50% faster. You've got generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members recover 5%. So this generates us ammo. Rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. So there's a lot of good attributes on the Gunner that I think Gunner is probably the best for DPS builds. But the main thing is the killing enemies grants 10% armor because we are very squishy. We have some survivability in the build. So I'll show you guys in the shooting range. So obviously, if obviously for weapons, it's completely up to you for weapons. It's whatever you like to run. Okay, you don't have to run the exact same weapons as I do, and you don't have to run the exact same skills as I do. But I recommend if you have most of the pieces, try the Dodge City Gunslinger holster. I never used to like this exotic until, you know, couple months ago, and I actually loved it. And it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't, what else can you really put in this slot here? I mean, this is a Walker Harris piece. You could put the Picaro, but then you're losing, it doesn't make a difference because you have an armor core in there. So I'll show you the DPS numbers on this build. I hope I explained it really well, because I feel like I'm really bad at explaining. Okay, can you see my pistol icon at the bottom? So that's the Gunslinger stacking. Anyways, let me show you the numbers. Okay, so 6 mil. We reached 6 mil. So highest number is 732k for DPS wise. Okay, and for headshots, all right, for my M1A, but there's a lot of damage. Okay, and for my pistol, well, I'll show it to you on a named enemy how much damage you can do. Okay, so if I do headshot him, basically one shot enemy. Can you see the DPS when it's fully stacked? 19.789. And I will check what the other one is. So I'll do it on the Orbit, just so you can see. So this is really good for enemies that push you. I'll even try the Liberty for you guys, and I will try the Prophet. Okay, so the only thing is we're gonna have to let it stack. So what I'll do is I'll swap that to the Liberty. Okay, just stacking, and see if I one-shot him. So I'll do a headshot. That's 13 mil. Okay, and I'll change this to the orbit. And while we're letting that stack, I'll damage myself, and you can see how much the gunner specialization gives you in terms of health when you kill an enemy, or armor. So that gives us a bit of survivability at least. Yeah, and that's full armor back. Alright, so I'm gonna test the orbit. So that's 6 mil. Okay. Then I'm gonna test the profit. What's so good about this? If you do land a headshot, the next headshot land on any enemy will be guaranteed critical headshot. That's gonna be really strong, I think. So you can use that as well. Okay, just gotta let it wait to stack. This is the last pistol I'll be showing you guys. Okay. Obviously when you're fighting it won't feel that long. Okay, so let's do a headshot. 10 mil. And now we've got, oh, it needs to be a headshot kill. But I mean, it's pretty good still. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much the build. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of skill to use because you're using glass cannon, but you will get used to it. But it's really powerful. It's probably one of my favorite builds in the game still, honestly. I love this build. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my Division 2 build playlist. There's a bunch of builds there. Check it out. Anything that piques your interest, you know. And thank you so much for the support. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good day, and peace.